Both still waiting. Cool, cool.
Well, I see if I can figure out what's going on.
Awesome. Live on Behance and YouTube. Perfect. All
Cool.
right. Well, I can start anyway. So as you can see now, because I'm assuming that Flynn has changed over. Yes, you have changed over to my screen. Well, first of
Yep.
all, there's a funny delay in the stream where I don't see Flynn's face this time around
Mm.
with the setup that we have, or his work. So I have no idea what you're going to do until I see it on the stream along with everyone else. But what I'm going to do is taking the theme of retro road trip. I initially started just doing some prompts on Firefly about the sort of wish you were here postcards or like greetings from Colorado kind of thing. And then I realized, hold on, I have a hobby that is very, very well suited for this stream theme, which is philately, which for those who don't know what that is stamp collecting. And so philately it's a very nice one, but it's strange enough that you have no idea what it is, and you can sound very cool. And then when people find out what it actually is, it's like, oh, okay, so you're an 80-year-old man. Um, and yeah, yes, I am. So what? So before I get started, I thought I would actually show you some of my stamps, and in particular some of my space themed ones, because retro space is kind of what I decided to theme the theme, because that is a collecting interest of mine. So we have, for example, Pioneer Jupiter. Let's see how well these will show up. Kind of. Got that one there. Um, we have the friction drive spaceship Eagle from 1960, which super cool. And zoom. Oh no, this is a postcard. So stamps and postcards. And then the second last one, and this is a two set stamps. This was a series, and this is, oh my goodness, a US space. Aha. Yeah, it will be out of focus. Probably, I don't know if I even can get in focus. Yeah, I think so. But that one. And then the last one, just for funsies, because it's really cool, a letter and stamp about atoms for peace. That also looks very cool. It has Einstein on it over there, and then a cool two globes and the atom symbol and everything like that. So, space and stamps are what I'm going to be doing today. And I prompted Firefly, and I was blown away because the results were out of this world. I promise I will stop. And really impressed. So, zooming in on some of these, all that I wrote was postage stamp space first, like a space postage stamp, and then space travel, because I was just getting planets. Although planets are very cool, that's not specifically what I was looking for. And then I'm amazed that there is also a stamp tag that you can select. So I tagged product photo and stamp, and then hyper realistic, and just mess about a bit with that. And then I got all these wonderful, wonderful stamps. And I love how it's captured the the screen printing effect, or the Rezo printing effect, of just multiple layers of ink, and kind of the chromatic aberration effect as well, especially on these here. Just amazing how it's captured that. But without further ado, I've just started making a bit of a template here. And before streaming, I started coloring this. So that's what I'm going to finish up and continue doing. While maybe Flynn, you tell us what you're getting up to. Very cool. Exciting. Ooh. What not being able to see, oh, I can see now. I wonder if because something that I also I see. Oh, perfect. We can't hear you, Flynn. It seems from chat. Yeah, let me check as well.
Test one.
Oh, now we can hear you. Good, good. Oh, actually, no, that was you. That's you to me because I can hear you, but the stream can't.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
That's
it
right.
should be
I can
working.
just-
It should be working now, folks. Let me know, and then Johanna, can you let me know because I can't have pants open at the same time. There's too many devices trying just to get two screens up at the moment. It's crazy.
And now it is working officially.
All right. Well, look, you didn't miss out on much. I haven't had much to say. Okay.
That's not true. You've explained that you're going to do a GIF animation in Photoshop.
Yes.
And you're very bravely taking this Firefly Friday series as an opportunity to experiment with stuff that you haven't done before.
That's right.
And I think that's really, really cool.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Johanna. Appreciate that. Yeah, so basically just trying to make a really simple animated GIF. And so the idea, as I was saying before, I haven't had a chance to really prepare anything, so I'm not exactly sure how this is going to go. So, but the idea is just to make like 2 or 3 frame animation GIF out of assets found on Firefly, just for giggles.
Amazing. I think that sounds really fun.
Yeah. Imagine if we went to like the 50 minutes of a stream or something, and then someone right at the end said, "Oh, by the way, Flynn, we can't hear you."
See, that's what we do on April Fools.
Cool.
And I'm gonna hope that you forget that suggestion.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That comes around, because I'm definitely gonna pull that. Just to catch you freaking out on stream, because that's a rare occurrence. Okay.
Tend to freak out on stream these days.
Yeah, but I think that's a bit good, because then the stream is more exciting when there's unexpected things happening.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've just basically done my solid color shape of the stamp, and then with using a clipping mask, I'm just gonna color that in this sort of beigey brown. And so I have a nice base, but I'm not restricted to this color. And if need be, I can non-destructively also adjust and tweak the stamp shape, also again without impacting the integrity of the sketch, basically. So now I'm gonna lower the size of my brush a bit and just get a sort of a neutral color. I'm gonna have a gander at all these stamp suggestions and just start roughly sketching some out. So if anyone in chat, if you see one that you really, really like, I know there are quite a few of them. I was going to say very, very, very many, because clearly I've stumbled upon the perfect intersection of my interests and artificial intelligence.
That's amazing.
So this is, not even, it's like 0.1% of all the images that I found. Now let's see, my green screen is acting a little funny. There we go. All right, so let's just start. And I'm gonna use, as you will see, Fresco's, I think, relatively new drawing assisting tool.
Drawing assisting tool?
Yes, it's Shape Assist, I think it's called.
Oh.
So essentially, if you draw a circle, you just hold down the brush as you're going. It will simplify and finish off the circle for you.
Oh, nice.
Which makes more sense when you can see me doing it as well. And it works similarly with squares and ovals. So a fully, like a completed shape. My understanding is that Fresco will then go in and help you make all the circles and squares that you want. Let's see, let's have one of these perhaps. I'm just looking at the various elements of all of these stamps and picking out certain things that I enjoy and just doing a very rough sketch, because what I will actually be doing is drawing with color instead. So right now it's more about the shapes and the rough placement. And then when I go in with the color blocking and the solid blocks of color, that's kind of where the true drawing will begin.
True drawing.
Let's see. And maybe we do.
Well, I'm just head down trying to get this, trying to remember how to create GIFs.
Yeah, go for it. Do you have the animation timeline open?
Not yet. I'm not quite there yet.
Okay.
We need a background. We kind of need to set everything up before you start animating. So anything that you want to animate, you don't really want to be bringing things later, if I remember animation.
Well, it depends how you want to go about it. Because if you do, for example, layer or frame by frame / layer by layer animation, as long as you're somewhat organized, you can just bring it in whenever. If I remember correctly, which I might not, so don't quote me on that.
I always struggled to go. I find you have to do it very linearly. You know what I'm trying to say?
Linearly.
Yeah, sequentially. Let's say sequentially.
Chronologically.
Chronologically, also fine.
For another difficult word.
Yeah, so often find that if you don't halfway through realize that you wanted to add an element in, I find it's very hard to kind of go backwards and try to do things with the frame by frame animation when you're using layers.
Now let's see here. I'm looking for a very special brush. This is Ben Marriott's, friend of the show, former guest, stippling brush that he has made.
Ben Marriott made a brush?
Use it, yeah, so this one here, and I'm going to use it to create the gradients that I want. Okay, yes, that works. So let's look. What's a funky gradient? Let's do this. And at the moment, it doesn't really matter what color these things are, because I can always make a clipping mask and adjust the colors after. So if it's looking a little wild and crazy right now, don't worry, it will be fine.
Nice. Well, I'm just trying to find some backgrounds because we're going to animate with backgrounds. I've forgotten which one I brought in.
And what you'll notice that I'm also doing is just going, doing all my sort of stippling lines on different layers, because what I was also thinking of doing is blend modes and adjustmenty stuff.
Adjustmenty stuff.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. So that's spacey enough. And then what I will also do is, because I have this lovely thick border around the stamp, I can be quite haphazard and messy when I just clean up the edges here. And to save time, I probably would have done an additional clipping mask, so I can again keep this all contained.
Just clipping marks all the way down.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love a nice clipping mask. Let's see, I'm just trying to pick up the different ones that I did and clean that up sort of as good as you can, because again, it doesn't have to be too clean, because I can just clipping mask it away. And hello Danny, welcome to the stream.
Hey Danny. What's going on?
And Superb on YouTube, wondering if you can create social media posts with AI tools to make the thing. Yeah, I suppose you could, though at the moment Firefly is just for personal and experimental use. So if you were using it in social media and potentially getting money from it in some way, that would be a no-go.
That's right, yeah. So it's non-commercial use at the moment while it's in the beta period. That'll change down the track, but at the moment, not commercial use. So you can create artwork and then post it, no problem with that. But if it's commissioned work or any sort of commercial work, you can't use it at the moment. So you could do this, you could do a stream, you could do posts, all sorts of stuff. But if you did a post, I don't know, and your client was a cake shop and you generated AI cakes or something like that, why would you? But just for example, you wouldn't be able to do that. So mine's actually coming along. I think we're almost ready for animation. 20 minutes in, not too bad. So I'm just going to flick over to my screen, maybe for the first and last time. So just to show what I'm doing. So I have got a couple of backgrounds, which has given me a color palette for this, which is great for me as a colorblind person. It's great to just have color palettes that can be generated by AI. And then I have cut this kind of figure out, used the subject selection tool to cut her out from the background and everything, so she's independent. And I've also cut out the sunglasses using Magic Wand and a bunch of other things. Did it pretty rough and dirty, but it's working, and I think it'll be fine for what we're doing. So now I've just got a couple of colors, and I'm going to put these colors super easy just behind this face. And then we're going to get onto animation, and I'll drop us back to showing Johanna's screen as well while I figure out the animation part.
Very, very cool. Now, I do have experience in animating in Photoshop, so if you really...
I really wish you could see my screen then.
I can help you out.
Would have been a good day for that.
Telepathically transmit my knowledge.
I used to do it a lot. I used to do it.
Really?
Heaps. Yeah. I was super into it. It's just one of those things. I'm talking design school. Like, it was one of those things that I just was into it, so I was better at it than a lot of the other people. So it was like a fun thing to be good at because there was a lot of good designers at my school. So it was nice to have a couple of things that I felt like I was pretty strong at, because it wasn't design, that's for sure.
Let's see. Now I'm at the fun challenge stage of picking a color palette. Let's see here. But again, just like I was saying before, I don't actually have to, because I'm using clipping mask and because I'm drawing digitally, I don't really have to commit to these colors. So I can very easily just change it up if need be. But for now, let's try something like this. And what you will have noticed me doing, while Flynn was talking, is I have actually made a clipping mask to help me clean this stuff up. Let me just figure out how to use it. I got it. Yeah, really the only complicated part, in my opinion, about clipping masks is just figuring out, okay, what order do I need this all to be in so that it clips the things that I want it to, and I still have the freedom to adjust the things that I don't want to be clipped.
Right.
And similarly, if you go into merging layers and things like that, it'll start behaving very, very differently. Let's see. That's the wrong layer. Which I think is on everyone's bingo card when they're drawing.
Wrong layer.
Always have that. It has to happen once per sort of drawing time. You can't. No one's that good that they don't draw on the wrong layer every now and then. And if you are, do tell us what your secret is.
You're amazing.
Because I'd very much like to know. So at the moment, I'm just going in and not necessarily finalizing anything just yet, even though it looks like I am. But I'm more so just deciding where the big blocks of color are and just placing something down.
Nice.
Oops. Because now I can hide the sketches and start to refine these shapes. Now that the sketch kind of gave me an idea of where I wanted and what I wanted, and where it should go. And now in the sort of refining stage.
This is really cool. I'm just checking in on yours.
Thank you.
I love the textures.
Yeah, and that's all thanks to Ben Marriott's, let me just get the exact name. His grain brush. So it should still be on his Gumtree. So if you search up Ben Marriott grain brush, and it was free, which is very kind of him. It should still be on his Gumtree.
Nice.
Okay, that's good enough. And shortly we'll get to the fun adjustment layer blend mode shenanigans, where I'll also sort of have a bit of fun with it's called the colors.
The colors.
Yeah, just
right.
Not some colors, it's the
colors.
colors. Colors are a big deal. And I've also just realized that I don't actually need the clipping mask that I made. So that's convenient. Less work for me. I always recommend keeping your layers as simple as possible, which is why I'm also a proponent of just merging things down.
Just merge as you go.
Yeah, as soon as I can, I will merge.
Yeah.
Much like driving, I suppose. If you can merge, merge. It says the very inexperienced driver, but I imagine that's how it goes.
Something like that.
Let's see.
I'm somewhat embarrassingly done as far as I thought I was going to go. So I'm just going to add in a little bit of texture and see if I can find some things to tweak. But I actually got it working and everything went off without a hitch, which was not what I expected.
Amazing.
See, so yeah.
I foretold this.
You did.
This entire time.
It was all the good vibes. So I'm just going to try and add some texture myself, inspired by Johanna's highly texturized image. Ours is a bit flat, so we'll do that. We'll have a go at that. So just created a new layer and then locking it to the below one, and then I am going to another friend of the show, which is Kyle T. Webster. Be grabbing one of his brushes, and I'm just going to kind of brush over the top of my character, and we're just going to randomly pick blend modes because there's no science to it. You just guess.
I mean, that is the industry standard way of picking blend modes. I'm pretty sure.
That's what I hear.
Which, funnily enough, is also what I'm about to do.
Awesome.
That light is getting a bit too bright for my taste, so let's just dim that down. Okay. Alrighty. So I have a variety of colors here, and maybe I just do, you know what I will do? Just a little bit of kind of type before I do that. So let's just find place for that to go. Okay. Now, if you're wondering why KR, Johanna, that is the shorthand for the name of currency in Sweden. So it's kronor or krona, which is our version of the dollar, if you would translate it, I suppose. And it's what I'm going with. So nice. There we go. And now it's blend mode time. Multiply is always a classic, but let's see if we can't be a little bit more inventive here.
I'm just adding halftones.
Oh, let's do a hard light. Let's have a look. Oh, very cool. Very nice, very cool.
What's happening?
and probably the blend mode that I'm most excited about are these gradients here in the back, or these texture here in the back. Let's see. Okay, vivid light, I did like that one. Hue is also kind of nice.
It's cool. I like the hand-drawn 50. Looks nice. On yours.
Oh, thank you. I was like, wait, where?
50KR down there. And
yeah, 50KR. Let's see. I think I'm gonna go. This is tricky. Tricky. Okay, let's go with that for now. Because I also don't want to overpower, because I actually like colors that I've got going here.
I actually like colors. Johanna,
Yeah.
2023.
Honestly, that checks out.
Checks out.
But I think we need a bit more visual interest here. So we're going to make the brush a little bit smaller. Make this. Oh, and use the correct brush as well. And make this that kind of planet. Yeah.
Cool.
Twist it around a bit. Okay.
So I'm just bringing my screen up for a second, just as I kind of show where we got. A little bit faster than I expected, so I've got a bit of time to break it down. Animating in Photoshop is super easy, even if you haven't done it for a long time like me. Pretty easy to do. So basically, if you look down the bottom left, that way, I made 6 frames. So we've got 6 different instances happening. It's just a little bit of, it helps to bring the animation in if everything isn't happening at the same time. So a cheap kind of way to do that is I've got 3 different backgrounds, but the background doesn't change each frame, it changes each other frame. So we only need 3 of those, but we've actually got 6 different versions of the sunglasses changing color. So it's subtle, but it just kind of helps it look a little bit like a little bit more is going on. Hopefully no one reacting terribly to images changing fast. It's not too fast, hopefully. Added a little bit of halftone over the top, and we're just going to export it. So just in case anyone wants to know how to do that, I'm going to show you how to export. Shift, Option, Command, and S will bring up the web-based exporting properties, and this is how you select a GIF. So GIF, JPEG, PNG, 8 or 24, and we're just going to select GIF. And you can change the colors as well. So we want 256 colors. We don't really need that. And it is going to make the file size much more big. We're going to go super low, turn it down to like 16 or something, I think. Maybe even lower. 8? No, that's outrageous. We'll go 32 maybe. But for something like this, it's pretty, it doesn't need to have too much color in it. Not a lot of movement. So we've got this down to a megabyte, which is pretty good. So I'm just going to save. Save it to the desktop. There we go. It's our little GIF. Neato burrito.
Neato burrito.
That's right.
Oh, that's a new one. I like that very much. You heard it here first, folks.
That's right.
Neato burrito. Love it. Let's see. That is definitely now stuck in my mind and will never leave. Wonderful. I'm still messing about with the colors, kind of seeing what works, making pretty much everything into a clipping mask.
Right.
As I am being a bit indecisive.
I'm just checking with you. I'm gonna host you now because I'm done. So, yeah, Fresco. So how do you do a clipping mask in Fresco? Is it similar to Photoshop?
It is quite similar, if not actually even easier. So truly all that you need to do is make a new layer on top of the one that you're using. And so the layer below will be the shape that you clip into. So for example, we have this vermilion sort of red-orange planet here. I only say vermilion because it's my favorite sort of color of red. And it looks like orange red, which is vermilion in my book. And then just below the show or hide layer, so just below this, you have the clipping mask symbol. So it's just the arrow pointing down and the square. So we press that and then it clips it.
Nice.
So now I can go in and make colors, and it's all within the clipping mask of our vermilion planet.
It's like coloring in is a bit like bumper bowling.
Exactly. You got your guardrails on the side, so you can't go too overboard.
Can't mess it up.
About it, yeah. But I'm just gonna make some curious shapes. That is too much on this here planet. Give it some texture. That's probably enough. And then once again, and this is a neat thing, I can just add on another clipping mask. I'll go back to Ben's green brush, pick really any color, and then do a bit of a shadow, just like that. Boom.
Nice.
And now the planet looks like a planet.
Perfect.
Let's see. But I am a bit concerned that there isn't, I have a few too many elements here in this piece. So I'm going to see if I can just pare it down a little bit and try to get this, try to get the composition working in my favor. Because something that is interesting to see in the examples that Firefly made is how some of these are essentially mini posters, so they don't have the needed information that stamps traditionally need to have, like the country or how much they cost. So trying to fit in those details as well is providing to be a little bit of a challenge. And just
it's interesting. Yeah, interesting that you bring that up. When we had a design school going and we were teaching like professional designers, as like an advanced course, and one of the teachers who was a designer from one of the studios came through, and they would give the students briefs. So they would give them like industry-based kind of briefs. One of the teachers came through and challenged them to design a series of stamps. And the reason was because there's so little amount of real estate on a stamp. How do you communicate a lot of the things that you actually do need to communicate? And especially in a series. And a lot of the students found it really challenging because it's just, as you said, it's like a tiny poster.
It is a tiny poster, which, as you can maybe follow my reasoning, is why I love collecting them so much. The space ones are lovely because they're usually quite retro and the colors are incredible. I also really love collecting ones from Sweden because obviously that's where I'm also from. And let's see, what other main... There is actually one which I won't spend the time to find it today, but there was one American series of stamps that were all about national parks, or sort of taking care of plants and sort of forest life or natural life in cities.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
And that was wonderful. I really liked that one. But it is truly a bit of a challenge. And I have made it too complex. So let's just see.
Hey, just letting you know, we've got about 2 minutes left.
2 minutes left. My goodness. Well, let's, in that case, just put this on that instead.
Also, quick shout out to blend modes. I think blend modes has been in like every stream we've done, like in the last couple of weeks. Like we did a 3D design substance stream with the fantastic Pablo this week, and yes, even in the 3D applications, it's like, hey, yeah, blend modes, and it's multiply and dissolve and darken and lighten. That stuff sort of gets around, doesn't it?
It absolutely does.
Everything. 1 minute, Johanna.
1 minute. Okay, super quick. Just gonna color that in. That makes no sense. Oh, I'm so sorry, everyone. That maybe makes more sense, but not really. Here we go. This is the stamp that I was able to make based on prompts by Firefly. And as you can see, Firefly gets you a part of the way, but right. You do still need to understand sort of design hierarchy and understand what needs to be in a stamp, for example, to make one. So Firefly is a fantastic source of inspiration for me personally. And these color combinations and the way that texture and in some cases the layout is great. But you do still need to design as well. Yeah,
I like that. I like the approach of kind of inspiration. Because I mean, you've drawn everything there by hand. But you get the inspiration, and it's amazing when it hits a nail on the head. There's some things like I never would have thought stamps. Yes. Like, how great is that? I understand now why you were excited for today's stream. But hey, that's us. We got to go. We're going to get cut off. I made a GIF out of stuff. Thanks everybody. Thanks for hanging out. We'll be back next week, Tuesdays and Wednesdays, Adobe Live Asia Pacific. Thank you, Johanna.
Thank you, Flynn.
All right.
See you, everyone.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
Yes.
See you later.
Have a great one.
Bye.